Welcome to Anything Africa. Today, I really need the help of you guys. Please do me a favor, and after watching this video, let me know at the comment section if there's any way you can help me out from this my frustrations. Yeah, because I'm confused. But before then, let me start with this video.
2024 alone, 8,000 Indians sought residence in Ghana. 7,000 Chinese sought residency in Ghana, and the Nigerians and the others. But this is the two largest group, and they do that with peanuts. I think it's about 6,000 or something for them to get resident permit or something. It's about Solomon's, about 6,000. That is peanut. 6,000 is how much? Less than $500. I think that the time has come to commercialize it, and I want your support for that. You want to come and reside in Ghana? Show us that you are coming to invest at least $250,000 into our economy. We'll charge you, maybe pay for 5 years before maybe we even give you a permanent resident. Pay us maybe $20,000 every year. Pay us $5,000 so that we can use it to monitor, because even the resources for NIB to be able to do the background check, to be monitoring what the person is really here to do, is not there. And yet we are just busy. You come to my office, everything is manual. So I have to sign them. And they fake documents and put them together. And you have some of our own citizens aiding them and taking all sorts of money from there. And they just come and pay 6,000. And then we grant them residence in our country. And in a few years, they marry some few Ghanaians. They come back and say they want naturalization. And then we sign again. No. We want to streamline this thing and commercialize it. And make sure you want to come and stay. Yes, you are welcome. But show us that you are coming to invest in our country. You are coming to build business where our people will be able to get a job. Then, in exchange, we'll also give you the resident. But the way it is now, I sincerely think that we need to review. And here, we will also be looking that you help us, you support us.
Yeah, so these are the words of Ghana's Interior Minister Muntaka Mubarak, and it's a brilliant idea. I don't think there is any question mark in regards to this statement. But for me, whenever it comes to considering our fellow Africans in the course of dealing with foreigners, I always side with Wode. But anytime I think of it, something comes up. A big question mark comes up.
Nkrumah talked about borderless Africa.
Yeah.
I've been a victim. I just had a brawl at the Togo-Ghana border just because I refused to pay bribe.
Yeah.
I mean, as a young African trying to travel within Africa, it's extremely difficult to travel within Africa. I mean, you're once a president. You don't think Africa need we should be a borderless continent. But on the continent of Africa, there's no free movement of people and goods. I mean, I will want to ask you, because I'm so much advocate for this. And when you come to power, what are you going to do to change that?
Well, I was president of Ghana, and so I was a member of the AU, Authority of African Heads of States. We prepared the protocol for visa-free travel in Africa. We were going to pass it in Kigali. At the last minute, there were objections from, I remember South Africa, but there were 2 or 3 countries that objected and said we should delay it until much later. Now, you know what I did? I came back to Ghana and I said, well, if the other countries won't pass it, we'll pass it in Ghana. And so I allowed visa-free travel for all African passports. You can apply for your visa at the airport. And people started taking advantage of it. Today, if you have an African passport, you can travel to Accra and apply for the visa when you get to Accra. And it hasn't changed Ghana in any way. Nothing extraordinary has happened. So I don't see why we cannot start with visa-free travel. In ECOWAS, we have it. ECOWAS, if you fly into Nigeria, you don't need a visa.
That's a brilliant idea from Wode, as he has been always advocating for a borderless Africa, So in a way, Wode is like Africans shouldn't need visa to enter into other African countries. But when it comes to the other people, the white people, they need visas. Which to me, like I said, there is nothing wrong with it, but there is a question mark. The reason why there is nothing wrong with it at the first place is that naturally to me, when it comes to relationship or aiding people, it varies from person to person, from country to country, from race to race. That is why, for example, when two Nigerians meet in a foreign land, or when two Ghanaians meet in a foreign land, let's say, for example, in the UK or in the US, or, as soon as they meet and realize that they are all from the same country, let's say, like I said, from Nigeria, from Ghana, the conversation becomes friendly. Oh, you are Ghanaian. Oh, me too, I'm a Ghanaian. Nice meeting you. So, which part of Ghana are you from? Oh, I'm from Kumasi. Oh, really? I'm also from Kumasi. Jeez. Which part of Kumasi are you from? Let's say Adabraka. Oh, jeez, my goodness. That is exactly where I'm also from. So you see, the more they get to know that you are from the same background or from the same source, the conversation become more friendly and more entertaining. And so, in regards to this, when it comes to considering someone, they will always go in for, their countrymen, especially this one, right? So naturally, when you are born, the very people that you become committed to, you become more friendly to, is your immediate family. That's your mom, your dad, and your siblings. That's your nuclear family. The next is your extended family. The next is the community within which you live in, which comprises your friends and your other staffs. The next is the region. Next is the country as a whole, right? And from the country now to the race. Okay, we are all Africans. Oh, nice meeting you, Nigerian. We are all Africans. Africans, Africans. The last part is the world as a whole, whereby we are supposed to treat each and everyone equal, regardless of where the person is coming from, whether the person is a Chinese, whatever. All right. Now, let's tackle my frustrations or my confusion or my problem that I am needing the support of you guys right now. It is accepted in the whole world that once you are not a citizen of a country, you are a foreigner. So let me use Ghana as a case study. Once a Nigerian entered into Ghana, he or she is a foreigner, regardless of everything. Once an Indian moved to Ghana, he or she is a foreigner. A Chinese, it implies to every single person who is not a citizen of Ghana. And so there are procedures that those foreigners need to pass through, which at the end of the day, the world expects Ghanaians to deal with these foreigners, regardless of their color, of their race, equally, you know, without being biased, without being some kind of racism. And so when I heard the news from this Interior Minister, Muntaka Mubarak, I was like, okay, maybe we can do this and at the same time consider our fellow Africans, talking of Nigerians and other African persons living in Ghana. But like I said, the thing came up, which is, if we do this, if we consider our fellow Africans in the course of doing this, is it not going to look more like racism, as we the Africans have been complaining that the white are racist, the white are this, they are that? Is it not going to look more like injustice? Like, let me know at the comment section. Yeah, because if Nigerians are foreigners in Ghana as being accepted in the whole world, that, like I said, when you are not a countryman or when you are not a citizen of a country, automatically you are a foreigner, regardless of your color, regardless of your race. And so when we intend to consider our fellow blacks, our fellow Nigerians, our fellow Kenyans, our fellow Africans in the course of undertaking what this Interior Minister is saying, it is going to look more like I said, racism. Or if we are to follow what Wode is saying, borderless Africa, moving to other African country, you don't need a visa because you are an African. And so if a fellow African don't need a visa to enter into one African country or the other, and at the same time, a foreigner, another same foreigner who is a white person needs a visa, come to think of it, so certain things like this, once again, always gets me confused when it comes to considering our fellow Africans in the course of doing these things. But then again, also naturally, that is how it's supposed to be, naturally. So once again, let me know at the comment section, or let us know at the comment section, that is there any way that we can consider our fellow Africans, our own race, without letting the whole thing looks more like racism or injustice? Because I personally, or I don't think Africans will be pleased to see this happening in the other part of the world. Whereas when, because of your color, because of your race, you are being treated differently, I don't think we will be pleased with that. You know? So come to think of it, what are we supposed to do about, or what can we do about this situation?